It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. Now, to call another woman a sister is basically to say, I trust you, I have your back, your feelings are valid, and I believe in you. Now, although men and women do complement each other, as women, we thrive on strong relationships with our girlfriends. And such friendships give women an outlet to share their problems, their thoughts, their feelings, and their triumphs with those that they feel a close bond with.
And those that can truly understand as well. And today we discuss the importance of supportive sister circles in a society where so often, I think, women are raised to see one another as competition or as a threat, unfortunately. And our panel consists of some incredible women, clinical psychologist Slindile Mbata, as well as two dynamic women who have founded their own sisterhood support groups. Stacey King of My Soul Sisters, as well as Sesonke Nkonke from Sesonke Women Round Tables. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. You're on TV now. I love it. I love it. We encourage all of you guys at home to please join in on the discussion and please share your thoughts, your experiences firsthand. Drop us a voice note on our WhatsApp line 063 408 8863. It is a safe place, so please, you can remain anonymous, but have your say.
Oh, there we go. Well, Slindile, I'm
guys.
going to start off with you. You breaking the ice for us. When it comes to friendships, I think, you know, some women feel like there's a little bit of cattiness to some. Some people prefer having just male friends. Why is that the case, that not all girls get along?
So I think there's an idea about women, you know, coming together and what that manifests in. So I think part of this is something that's been just passed down historically through the stereotyping
Hubble, bubble, toil and trouble.
Yeah, through the stereotyping of women. You know, at some point in history, women were considered property, and so, you know, their place was seen as being very much in the home, and you can't participate in other aspects of life. And then when women started going out into the workplace, you know, there were ideas about, like, you know, they can't hang out maybe in groups, you're going to get ideas about certain things. So I think there's been this misconception about women coming together in groups. What are they up to? A skepticism, really, I would say, historically about women coming together and what that's going to produce. And I mean, look, we've seen it. We've seen movements where women, you know...
Disruption. That's what it's meant generally, thankfully. Thank goodness that we've had those moments in history. Why do you think there is a natural tendency towards this idea of cattiness? Why do we reach towards that? Is that something else that's been propagated outside of?
I think so. I think even in terms of the history of psychology, you'll see that women have always been considered to be hysterical and irrational. So we have this perception that women coming together ultimately is going to result in explosiveness and not necessarily unity and something powerful and meaningful.
For men. For men. Let's put it out there.
Well, Stacey, you've taken things into your own hands and you've created My Soul Sisters. Can you tell us a little bit more about the soul sisters that come together?
Oh, well, last year I suffered through burnout, and while I was suffering and then recovering, what I realized is that I really needed to make more moments in my life that are full of joy, full of happiness. And so for me, that's getting outdoors, going for nature walks, going on the hiking trails, going down to the beach and watching the waves, because that's my happy place. But then what I realized was missing was the people to do those things with. And so I started My Soul Sisters as a way to sort of build the friendship group that we all dream of, which is a supportive circle of women that just enjoy doing similar things and also just share that same zest for life, you know, get together, go out there, make connections, and then enjoy the world around us. So that's where it all started and began.
I love that, and congratulations for getting the momentum that you've got, but it speaks to the need, that people need human connection. We need to see ourselves represented, certainly within business. When it comes to women, over the last 3 weeks, when we've spoken about the development of women within the business place, it's been identified that you need a mentor, and this is the model that men have been using for centuries to progress very quickly. You need mentorship, and you need that support structure above you to be able to kind of highlight and show the way. So Sonke, your organization has taken this friendship and this notion of a network a step further within that business field. Why take that step, and what sort of success stories have you seen now that you've started to support each other in this way?
You know, what was important for me was to always create a platform that brings women from all walks of life to come together, to engage, exchange ideas, and to generally support and uplift one another.
Yeah.
Because I feel that as women, we've sort of gravitated more towards pulling each other down instead of uplifting one another. So it was important for me to make sure that there's a platform that allows women to be open and vulnerable in a space that is safe for them to freely exchange ideas and to communicate and share their journeys to be to where they are right now. So it was very important for me. And it also entails the detail of uplifting, upskilling one another, because at the end of the day, you don't want to have a round table where no one takes anything out of it. You want it to have an impact, and you want people to leave out there having gained a skill or two, you know. So that's why it was important for me to have such a platform.
And you know, even as you hear this, it mustn't be seen as a negative to say, okay, we're competing with each other. When there's one seat at a table of 10 that gets to be occupied by a woman, understandably, there's going to be competition for that one seat. We get that notion, and that's what we need to change. But the idea of providing skills along with a mentor to show the way, absolute magic. And we're going to continue discussing that in just a moment. Please, can you share your insight with us this morning? We'd love to hear from you. 063-408-8863. Drop us a voice note. Our panel is not going anywhere. We'll continue our discussion in just a moment. Time now to see if Kat has got the moves. I think he has.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for rejoining what has been a brilliant conversation so far. In celebration of Women's Month, we are jumping back to our discussion on supportive sister circles, with our panel consisting of clinical psychologist Slee Mbata, as well as two dynamic women who have both founded their own sisterhood support groups, Stacey King of My Soul Sisters, as well as Sisonke Nkonki from Sisonke Women's Roundtables. Ladies, thank you so much for rejoining the conversation with us.
And we've encouraged you at home to join in on the discussion. Send through those voice notes. That number is 063-408-8863. And we're going to kick it off with a voice note we received from Charlene. So let's take a listen to this one.
Hello, Expresso. I'm tearing off to my friends, and I'm looking that they're healthy because they're my best friends, and best friends need to take good care of each other.
I like that. Still a little sleepy because it is early, understandably. I feel the same. But we do. You've got to look after each other, and there's something nurturing and caring. It's not just about, in this aggressive business sense, helping propel each other forward. We need a soft touch now, probably more than ever, because we're burning out, because we're crashing, because we're falling, and this is where we need the soft touch. There is a role for women to play now in that supportive structure, that circle. How important is that love now that you're receiving it from your friends in that circle?
Oh, it is so important. It is crucial. It's what the world is made of, I believe. I think that everybody is on this earth with a loving passion, and where you channel that is where your purpose lies. I think, with whether it's platonic relationships, whether it's working relationships, whether it's these sorts of circles that we're creating. And so I think that love is what makes the world go round, as cliche as it is, and now more than ever post-pandemic, we need it.
We do need it. I mean, I have my group of girls, and we do weekly girls' dinners just so that we can touch base with each other, because we're all in different fields. But Sisonke, you were at the receiving end of a mentorship program, and now you feel it's important to pay it forward. Why is that so for you?
You know, with me, I always share that I am where I am today because of women that believed in me and they saw something in me. So it's very important to understand that not everyone is going to be a part of a mentorship program. Not everyone is going to have access to such platforms and circles. So it's very important for us as those women that are in those positions of influence to actually go out there, you know, to those communities, and not just go there for the handing over of care packs and whatnot, but to actually take it a step further, to say that, you know what, I believe in you, you are capable, your dreams are valid, and to extend that hand of opportunity so that you also make a better version of another woman that did not really see, you know, and believe in themselves. And you also then, in that same moment, you're not only bettering that woman, but you're also making their family, you know, you're impacting their family to be become better people and the community at large. So that's why I feel that paying it forward is very important. It does not just end with you, but extending it forward does make a difference to those that are in less privileged circles.
Just that representation, you know, you think it's important for other women to see that represented. For young girls, it must be even more important that these archetypes are laid down in those developmental years. How important is it that young girls see this sisterhood, see themselves represented in this circle of trust and support?
Yeah, it's absolutely crucial, I think. You know, the first, relationship we have as women to other women is with our guardians, our mothers, and then, it extends to our friends, our teachers, women in our community. But it is so crucial that young women have that because, the women who are older have gone through certain life stages. They've had certain experiences that sometimes these young women are going to go through still. So it's very important to sometimes be passing down that wisdom, to the young ones. And to also, I think, form a barrier of protection for them as well, because there are certain things where I think women are exposed to so many dangers too in society. So it's very helpful whenever we can extend compassion, when we can extend protection, but also when the older women, women in our communities can shape those younger ones and actually just show us, there's so many different ways to be a woman, and it's okay no matter what sort of version of woman you want to be.
You find your path,
Definitely. Stacey, I actually wanted to ask you, with your Soul Sisters, you've mentioned burnout earlier, but how does the Soul Sisters ensure that you not only just get rest, but you restore yourself and you just get that energy back?
Yeah, so that's a big one. When I was on my healing journey, recovering through burnout, I realized there was a distinct difference between those two things. Rest, physical rest, crucial for your body. But when it comes to restoration, that happens at a soul level. And that restoration comes through things where you find things that spark joy in your life, that brings meaning to your life again, things that make you feel alive, And so through my Soul Sisters, what I've created is these meetups where women can come to these group activities, these fun activities, where we bring happiness back into their lives again. And so through those activities and through the connection, we find restoration and not only rest.
Just a little bit of serotonin. Just want a little bit of serotonin in my brain, please, man. I just want to feel a little bit better. The voice notes have been coming through. Let's hear another one this morning, get another insight.
Good morning to the Awesome Expresso team. Mrs. Nirmala Devi Mudliya from Kamas. Yes, we do have a few ladies, sisterhood in society settings, where we get together on a regular basis, encourage, empower, yes, whether it is family, society, religion, you name it, even health issues come up. We have this regular time for each other, and it is of great importance, empowerment, only to embrace our ideologies and open up avenues into the world we're living in. Thank you.
Thank you. Got it down. Got it down, locked, sorted. Absolutely love that, because there are ties, there are cultural ties, there are traditional ties. Women have been supporting each other for centuries. Women have been doing amazing things for millennia. We just haven't heard about it because men have crossed it out of the history books. We will find out more from this incredible panel of how we can empower each other, how you as a woman can empower the sisters in your circle. So please join the discussion. 063-408-8863. That's the WhatsApp line to use.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's still Women's Month, and we can't think of a better way to celebrate than gathering your girlfriends and bask in the affirmation of a supportive sisterhood. And that is exactly what our discussion is all about today, supportive sister circles. And we have our panel consisting of clinical psychologist Lindile Mbata, as well as dynamic women who have founded their own sisterhood supportive groups. We have Stacey King of My Soul Sisters, as well as Sisonke Nkonki from Sisonke's Women Round Tables. We've encouraged you to get part of the conversation by sending through voice notes. Let's take a listen to this one that came through.
Good morning, good morning. My name is Lindo Kuhle and my surname is Nzoyi. I'm so impressed by this topic today. Listening to your question, I think I'm interested very much because I'm one of the friends that are always supportive to my friends and to my colleagues. What I do in my corner is that I listen to their ideas, I go to their events, I share their posts, I celebrate their victories, and also it reminds me of the importance of having sisters around our corners. It is very important that a legal support that you give to those that are close to you is very important and can go a long way. That's it from my side.
Oh, emphatic point. I love that. Show up. Show up. It doesn't have to be a massive thing. You don't have to start your own NGO and launch a campaign, write a book. Just show up. Just go to the event for your sister, for your friend. I love that. There's one area that terrifies me as a man who grew up in an all-female household, who now has a daughter and a beautiful wife. I cannot protect them all the time. This is probably the least safe country in the world for a woman to grow up in. How do you approach that from your circle of trust? How do you feel about safety in this country, and how do you try to create a sense of security with each other?
So safety is a real concern for women in South Africa. It really is. And so through my Soul Sisters, because we have grown with numbers in the last 6 months, what that does bring is that when we do meet up together, it's a big group and it's safety in numbers. So we have an assurance in that sort of sense. It is obviously a falsified assurance at times, because it doesn't mean that it's 100% safe, but at least when we gather in groups, we are better together. In addition to that, I also vet social media profiles. So anybody that is being added into our exclusive WhatsApp community, I actually personally go and vet every single social media profile, just so that we've got that added layer of protection for all of our members in the community.
How do you become a member of the Soul Sisters?
So you can contact me via DM on Instagram is probably the easiest way, or otherwise on my website. So that's www.mysoulsisters.co.za, or otherwise on Instagram, which is @mysoulsisters. And then the process is I will get in touch. If you've got a private profile, I then ask to just send a friend request, look at your profile, make sure that you are indeed a woman, and that you can see the difference between a bot account and a normal account. And then I get your number, add you into the WhatsApp community, and then you're in.
And you've got your tribe around you. I love that. So, Sonke, how do we join the round table? I know I'm probably exempt, unfortunately. How can other women join your incredible organisation?
You know, we've got social media platforms that we're available on. We've got our website, which is www.swrt.co.za, and we're very welcoming to collaborations and partnerships from sisters and organisations alike. So if you feel that you want to be a part of this transformational community, then hit us up on our social media and our website.
Make some money. Love that.
Slee, from your end, just to wrap up our conversation around finding that supportive sister circle within you. Not everyone always have access to that, and not everyone's always capable to start their own NGOs. What words of advice would you give to those who wants to be part of it?
So I would say you can be a sister to anyone in your sphere of influence. You know, if you are in school, even if you're in high school, you know, you might know a young girl who is in class who sits by themselves. You know, you can be the sort of sister that you would want to have for that person. In the work scene, for example, you know, invite someone over to have lunch, you know, with you, and engage and create those new connections as well. But also, like the sisters here have mentioned, that you can promote others on social media, you can show up to their events if you know that there's a fellow sister who, you know, is having something going. But I really think it's about starting to think, okay, how can I, in my own sphere of influence, maybe I'm a health professional, I can approach a school and speak to, you know, the kids about what it might be involved if you want to become a health professional. So there are so many things that you can do. You don't have to start an organization, but you can just volunteer yourself, think about the skills that you have, even in terms of what it is that you're doing in your immediate workplace every day. I think there's always an opportunity to be that sister to someone that you really need and that they really need.
And look for those moments, because so often it's happening right in front of you, where someone is desperately crying out for help or just needs someone to lean on or something just in that moment. Just read the room, open yourself up. But I think just examine your own life. Look for that thing that was the X factor for you, that code that you were able to crack. Give that to someone else. Let someone else do that. But I love it. Thank you so much. Ladies, you've been amazing today. Thank you so, so much.
We've had an incredible panel, and thank you for joining in on the discussion. And of course, our WhatsApp line, it remains open to you if you still want to be part of it. It's 063 408 8863.